Ho 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 everybody, it's Tobin here from snaptocover.com, bringing you my next devlog. Got a lot done this week, had the whole week off, so I got a lot of time to work on development. Let's slide that guy over a little bit. So let's peel back slowly and let's show you what I got going on. You got that guy walking through. This is the commercial district of my game. So this is where all the people live. This is where all the people shop. We've got this massive town hall that people can go to, walk around in. We've got that's the fire station. You got all the apartment buildings. These are all custom-made apartments, which all have nice windows all the way through. Again, all the buildings, probably showed these to you guys already, but we've got all the different buildings, which are going to be different stores that you can go to. Kind of the theme I have for it is that buildings are just buildings until you put something in them. So because the buildings are all basically, if we go over the top, they have the same interior size, I can actually create different interiors for these. So that'll be good. I'll be able to create a bar and put a bartender inside of it with a actual bar and some stools, maybe some lights, and then I can auto-generate the interior of these buildings. So when the building spawns, it'll pick a random interior for it, and that'll turn it into what kind of store it is. Whether it's a bar or a medical place or something like that. And I think that's going to be important because you're gonna. I probably want to put in a like food and hydration system, so you'll actually have to keep up on that by visiting these stores and spending some of your money in there. I'm not sure exactly how you're going to gain money yet in the game. That's kind of down the road, and so is food and beverage. And also you'll see all these little things rolling around. Those aren't zombies. Those are actually my NPCs. So these are going to be just generic people that are... Oh, that's actually me, but these are generic people that are kind of walking around in the city, going from place to place. So what I did is, I can show you this here. Over on this side, I created a script called the NPC spawner, and what you do is you give it a generic population. So I think I started this one at 100, and then I gave it an array of waypoints. So these are different places on the map that people are interested in going to. And then I have an array of NPCs. What this is basically a placeholder for when I have things like a male commoner or a female commoner, maybe a factory worker, an aristocrat. So I'll have different NPC types that can get thrown in here, and then what the spawner does is it loops through the population and creates a new NPC for each person, a different NPC on the map somewhere, and then gives them a list of places that they can go. And as soon as they hit the ground, they immediately decide where they want to go first, and when they go to that place, there's a waypoint at the fire station. As soon as they get to the fire station, they're going to get told to go somewhere else. So this gives the impression that there are people in the city walking around, going about their daily business, visiting different places of interest. Right now they're kind of just walking all about because there's only a few waypoints. I don't know if I'm going to chain the waypoints so that they have to go from one to the next and create a path out of it, or if I'm just going to let them kind of go about on their own. Right now I kind of like it. They just go about on their own, do what they want. This guy's probably going to the church. This guy might be going to the fire station. And there'll be different ones at different buildings. So I could even create waypoints in the different buildings. And then they'll go visit them and maybe shop or something, and then go on to the next place. And I might make it so there's a delay as well, so that they don't just right now, as soon as they hit the there's a little waypoint here. I don't think you can see it. If I click that, you can see it. So as soon as they hit that green dot, they immediately walk away. So I might make it a delay where they it takes them maybe 10 seconds or something, and then so they visit a little bit and then they leave. So it's a little more natural. Not that you would just spend 10 seconds, but I want to keep them moving. I don't want them getting stuck. So that's good. What else do we do this week? So I showed you all the buildings, showed you the waypoint system and the NPCs. One thing I found that's going to save me a ton of time is this program called Make Human. It's a free 3D modeling program that basically takes care of all of the work of making a human. You can pick the gender if you want it to be male or female. You can pick the age. You can do something really old or a little baby. You can change the either being very muscular and trim or a little chubby. And then on top of that, you can do weight. So you can do, no weight, or you can really bulk them out a little bit. You can do height, so you can make them tall or short. And what else we got? We got proportions, so you can change the proportions. This makes person almost like Superman, where this makes them kind of, I don't know, it's really off. All the large muscles get really small, and all the really small muscles get really big. If you go the other way, it makes all the large muscles even bigger than they should be, which gives them that kind of Superman look. And then you can change race down here. We've got gender, so you can really change everything about the gender, everything about the face, torso, arms and hands and legs. And then custom stuff. I don't really know what that's for, but maybe maybe it's not really a human that you're using, and you want to have a couple proportions that you want to change there. You can add those, and then you can also measure to make sure that everything is the right size for the character you're making. Then we've got geometries for things like clothes. I can take off his hat, maybe put this hat on. Take it off completely. You can change the shoes, so you can put these shoes on. So there's a lot of different things you can do in the game. And what also is nice, and why I'm really excited about using this, is I can take the base model without any clothes, export it into Blender, and then create my own clothes and export that as a model for my game. So if I want to create all these cool steampunk clothes and a cool top hat with some goggles, I can do that, add it into the game, and it'll work. It's already rigged, so it's got all the bone structure that it needs. I can come in here. Here's one I just exported using some of the default clothes, just playing around with it. But I could create this as an NPC, add it into my spawn manager, and it would create one of these as an NPC walking around the city. And last but not least, I found a mocap suite. So if you're not sure what mocap is, it stands for motion capture. And so there's these big motion capture studios that people go to when they're doing games or movies, and they put on these big black suits with these little white balls all over it, and then as they move, it captures that movement and turns it into saves it as an animation. So they'll say, all right, they'll tell the actor, run for us, and it'll capture them running and then translate that into an animation that you can apply to different characters. And with the Unity Mechanism suite, you basically just say, I have a human, and then you drag the animation to it, and it moves all the bones inside of that model. So it doesn't matter which model you have. You just, as long as it's rigged correctly and it's got all the hands in the right place, as soon as you put that animation on that person, they're off and run. So that's pretty cool. I can get the people, instead of just floating around like a bunch of little capsules, I can actually have them run around like actual people, and when they walk, they'll actually have a walk animation, and when they're fleeing and they're running, they'll have that run animation. So that'll be really, really good. I think that's about it. Yeah, so I'm going to be working a lot more on, for this coming week, I'm going to be working on a lot more of the game mechanics. That's going to be my main focus. So expect to see a lot more things to do, or at least the base mechanic of zombies being created and having to go kill those. Maybe having the ability to pick up a gun, maybe get a couple different guns created, just some basic ones. I can go back and flush them out later, but as long as I have a generic model that I can use as a gun, pick it up on the ground and then go shoot these guys that turn into zombies, keeping the city population under control. Yeah, it's kind of my goal for this week. Got the holiday coming up on Thursday, so I might not have as much time as I had last week to work on a lot of stuff, but hoping to get a lot of that done before next Saturday. So, without further ado, if you guys could like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. You can give us a subscription on YouTube. We'd really appreciate that. Hoping to be making a lot more of these. I found out I got a tabletop game store actually opening up within 5 minutes of my house, so hopefully I'll be able to get back on the table and make some more tabletop videos as well. Really looking forward to doing that. It's been a while since I've been able to even get a game in, let alone make a video. So until next time, guys, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, and always snap to cover.